Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will continue with our news app. In previous video, we have set up room database. So if you have not yet watched it, I'll highly recommend you to watch that first and then watch this video. Now, in this video, we will cover adapter and repository part. Okay? So let's create it. Open Android Studio. Right click on repository package and create a new class. Name it as NewsRepository and done. Now, what's the general meaning of repository? It means a place or a container where something is deposited or stored, right? Same we will be going to do in this news repository with the help of article database and retrofit instance which we created before, okay? So I'll write here as db and declare article database class. Then inside it, I'm going to create 5 functions. Get headlines function, search news function, upsert function, get favorite news function and delete article function. We have already created these 5 functions, but this time we will call all of them as methods in their respective function. So first we need to call getHeadlines method that is present in News API with its parameters as country code and page number. So let's create it. And done. Now see, suspend make sure that all this operation is running on background thread. Then we have a function as getHeadlines with its parameters as country code whose data type is string and page number whose data type is int. And then inside it, I have called the getHeadlines method which is present in API. And that API is present in Retrofit instance. See, if I click on it, it leads me to News API interface. And this News API interface is called in Retrofit instance over here. Hence the chain goes like this way. And then all you have to do is pass the arguments. Basically, this function uses Retrofit to fetch headlines based on country code and page number arguments. Got it? Then next we need to call search news method that is again present in News API with its parameters as search query and page number. So let me write the code first. And done. Now see here, we have parameters as search query and page number. Then I have called the search for news method from News API through Retrofit instance and pass the arguments. Basically, this function uses Retrofit to search for news based on search query and page number arguments. The next method that we need to call is upsert function present in article DAO with its parameters as article. So let me write the code first. And done. Now see, I have created an upsert function with its parameters as article and then call the upsert method that is present in article DAO and that article DAO is present in DB, that is basically an article database. And then we have passed the arguments as article. Okay? See, we are not creating any logic here. We are just calling those methods which we created before. Got it? Then next we will call getAllArticles function which does not have any parameters inside it. So first, let me write the code. And done. Now see, I have created a getFavoriteNews function with no parameters, which is equals to, here I have called the getAllArticle methods that is present in article DAO through article database. Simple, right? Then next we will call deleteArticle function that is present in article DAO with article parameter. So let me write the code first. And now see, here I have created a suspend function as deleteArticle with article as a parameter, which is equals to, here I have called deleteArticle method from article DAO through article database and pass the arguments as article. And that's it. Our news repository is ready. You can press Ctrl and click on this method and do backtracking to know where it comes from. Okay? Next, we need to create an adapter class for our recycler view, which we have used in all three fragments. So to do that, right-click on adapters package and create a new class. Name it as NewsAdapter. And done. Here we need to create view holder, then adapter functions, and then onItem click listener. So let's create it. First, we need to extend it as recycler view dot adapter, and inside it, NewsAdapter dot article view holder. Then we will create this article view holder class here as inner class article view holder and constructor parameter as item view, that is view itself. Now, what is inner class? Inner class means they have access to the members of the outer class. Okay? Then it extends recycler view dot view holder and pass the argument as item view. See, the primary purpose of view holder is to hold references to views within an item layout to, avoid repeatedly calling find view by ID. Got it? Then here declare all the UI components that we have used in item news layout. See here, such as article image, article source, and many more. So I'll write here as let init where article image as image view. Then same way I'll declare other components as well. And then see, we have article image, article source, article title, article description, and article date and time. Okay? Next, implement the three members. And done. So we have onCreate view holder, getItemCount, and onBind view holder. Let's start with onCreate view holder. Let me write the code first. And done. See here, at the end it will return article view holder obviously, which means it will return item news layout only, that I have initialized here as layout inflator, inflate as item news layout. Got it? Then next is get item count. But before proceeding with that, we need to set up a diffutil and async list differ. Now, what are these complex words? It's very easy. Basically, both of them are used together to efficiently update the contents of a recycler view without refreshing the entire dataset. At first, it may look very difficult, but it's very easy to understand. So let me write the code first and then I'll explain you. And done. Now see, this is a differ callback implementing diffutil.item callback interface. This interface is used by diffutil to determine the difference between two lists. This method, are items the same, is called to check whether two items represents the same object in the article data class. Here it checks if the URL property of the old and new item is same. Basically, this is used to determine if an item has been moved in the list or not. Similarly, this method R contains the same is called to check whether the contents of two items are same in the article data class. Here it checks if the entire objects are same. Basically, this is used to determine if an item's content has been changed. Then this line creates an async list differ instance using differ callback, which we created, right? Basically, async list differ determine differences between two lists on a background thread, which helps in smooth UI update. And that's it. If you find it very complex, it's okay. Give it some time and also try researching it on your own, okay? Now, let's move to getItemCount. Here, it will return the size of list, and that list is a part of differ only. So, I'll write here as return differ.currentList.size. And done. Next, let's write the code for onBind view holder. But before that, we need to declare a variable named onItemClickListener. This variable is a nullable function type that takes an article as a parameter and returns unit. Unit means a function that does not return anything. Basically, this is used to set up a callback for item click events, which we will implement it, okay? Then come inside the onBind view holder. Here we will initialize all the UI components which we declared before. So first let me write the code. and done. Now see, it retrieves the article object at the current position from the list managed by the async list differ. Basically, this is the data that we want to bind to the views. Then we have initialized all the UI components with the help of holder. Let me delete extra. So we have article image, source, title, description and article datetime associated with its UI components. Then I have bind the data with view. Like this are all the view and this are all the data. Okay. Then we have used glide library to load an article from the URL to image into the article image view. Then I have set the source name on the article source view. And similarly for title, description and published ad. Means all the data are set on their respective UI components. Got it? Next, I have set on click listener on the entire item view using item click listener which I created before. So if any of the item above is clicked, then it opens up the article. Lastly, we require this item click listener for all the other fragment recycler view, right? So for that, I'll create a function as set on item click listener. That takes a parameter as listener and then further it takes an article as its parameter and return unit, means return nothing. Then inside it, same on item click listener method which we created before will be assigned to our listener parameter. Basically, this function allows external classes to set their own click handling logic for items in the adapter. Got it? And that's it. Our NewsAdapter class is also ready. Now, next we need to set up a resource class, which is basically a prerequisite for view model. So let's create it. Right click on utils package and create a new sealed class. Name it as resource and now what is sealed class? Sealed class often restricts the hierarchy and in our case, it represents the different states that can occur when fetching the data from a remote source. Got it? Different states as in success state or error state, which we will be using in fragments and view model later. Okay? So let me write the code first. And done. Now see, we have declared a sealed class as resource with a generic type parameter as t. Then this property holds the data of type t and is nullable. Basically, it represents the result data of the operation. That could be success or error. Then next, we have message variable that is used to store an error message in case of error. Then inside it, we have three classes: success, error and loading. All of them with its parameter as t. So first class is success class, which is a subclass of resource representing the success state. Basically, it has a constructor that takes the data, that is the result data, and passes it to the superclass, that is resource. Then second class is error class, which is also a subclass of resource representing the error state. Basically, it has a constructor that takes an error message and result data and pass them to the superclass, that is resource. Then third class is loading class, which is again a subclass of resource representing the loading state. Basically, it does not have any property. All it does is to indicate the superclass that data is still being fetched. And that's it. I know few concepts were very new to you, so it might look very difficult, and that's completely okay. But once the project is ready, then you will realize why resource class was required, why diffutil was used, and everything. So don't worry about it, okay? Now next video is very important video where we will set up our view model class. So stay tuned for that, okay? So yeah, that is it for the video. If you are new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.